Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out LiboView, and we're outside today, and it's because I want to do a review on this camera. It's my wife's camera, and there's a lot of nice features to it. There might be a little bit of wind noise. Be rest assured that I'm not using the internal mic of the camera. I've got a separate lavalier mic here. I want to talk about the camera and show you some of the features though, and the main thing is it's a point and shoot camera. It's quick to open up. There's quite a few features on it. It's not very expensive, and it can really make your pictures come out like you're a professional, even though you just took it out of your bag and turned it on. All the settings that I'm going to be shooting with on this camera are the automatic built-in program. Basically, it's the simple, easy shot. It's the stuff that it does automatically without any additional work being done to the settings to where you're fine-tuning shutter speeds or anything like that. Currently I'm shooting video. This will shoot video in full 1080 30p, which is 30 frames per second. It does not have a 60 frames per second, but this really isn't a video camera, but you can see it still shoots incredible video. Also, the photos that you get whenever you shoot with this thing, that's incredible. Let me go ahead and show you what the video can do though. And remember that this is all handheld. I'm doing this all with my hand. There's no tripod here. And I might stable myself against something, but still, nothing being rested. This is the built-in stabilization that the camera has for shooting video. Okay, so you can see here, I'm just in my backyard scanning around, and I need to find something that's a little bit further away so you can see what kind of zoom we have going on here. For example, the auto parts store that's over there, I'm going to get real close to my shed so I can rest up against it a little bit. But they have their garage door open. Let's see what it looks like inside there. Now you can tell it's kind of wanting to focus on the grass, so I'll go a little bit higher here, see if I can get a better focus situation. Yeah, you can start to see inside there. I mean, come on, isn't this crazy? Again, this is without a tripod. Stabilization is on, and it's dark in there too, and see how it's lightening it, you know, it's doing its focusing. It's actually lightening up everything. I could go a little bit more, but I don't think that there would be much sense in it. There's a car that passed. You can see there. Yeah, it's getting really shaky at this point. Now if I had a tripod, it would do really well. I find it amazing that it does such a good job. I mean, it is a point and shoot camera after all, so I just didn't think the video would be that good. Now I'm going to show you some photos. I'll show you some that my wife took. Let me go show you where she was sitting at whenever she took these photos though. So let's go check that out. My wife was actually sitting right here on the steps, and she was pointing down towards the ditch. Let me show you what those photos look like that she was taking whenever she was sitting here from this area that you're looking at right now. All right, so you can see here as I'm showing you some of these clips or some of these photos that my wife took. This was with her right out of the box, opening the camera, putting on automatic settings, and sitting on the porch and just taking pictures of the bird. No professional photography at all. She can hardly take photos with her phone. So this camera really helps her out quite a bit. On this camera, you can see about the size. It does look like a DSLR. It comes with a lens cover. The lens then has not only a lanyard so you can't lose it, but it has a clip to clip onto the strap that goes around your neck, so it's not flopping around in the shot by accident. Let's get a little bit closer with this thing so you can see what it looks like. Here's the lens cap. Loop that through the neck strap, and that holds it there. The settings on top are pretty self-explanatory once you've went through and read the manual, but automatic is the way that she was shooting. She didn't really do anything but just put it on automatic. It has a manual flash flip up. Once you do that, you tell the camera, hey, I want a flash. There's some kind of nice functions when you're zoomed in. You can push on these buttons and it will zoom out. As you push this button, it'll zoom out until you find your subject that you might have lost, and as soon as you let go of the button, then it will zoom back in to where you were. So that's nice to have, because she would have a hard time keeping stuff in the frame of view there. It's got 42 times optical zoom, and it has digital image stabilization to help keep that zoomed in shot, as you've seen, in focus. And it didn't shake too bad. Again, I was leaning up against our old shed, but I didn't have this thing, you know, teacupped in my hand or anything to where it was really being supported. The grip is pretty good. I have rather large hands. I find this to be pretty decent to maneuver through with my fingers. I think that my wife had a little bit harder problem, although her hands, you know, aren't tiny. She just felt uncomfortable thinking that she was always going to push a button on the side here. There are a lot of buttons, and there's features that you can access by pushing almost all of them, even while you're filming. Such as this button here, which allows this knob to make some changes to your camera, which is really nice. It's kind of like a shortcut, so you don't have to go into the menu and make those changes. This is a rubber grip that's here, that's on the front, then right back here, so it does give you a solid feel. When you have it in your hand, you know, your hand can be a little sweaty, and it feels pretty comfortable. The camera comes with a neck strap, obviously. It also comes with the lens cap, obviously. It does not come with a memory card. You have to buy a memory card. I'll put the link down below for the one that works the best in this camera. Let me tell you about the batteries that are in here and what you should be doing with batteries. This is the original Canon battery that comes with the camera. Whenever you buy extra batteries, do yourself a favor and try to purchase Canon batteries. The reason I say that is I did purchase a couple of supposed to be extra capacity batteries that came with the charger, and they do a pretty good job. So if you're just wanting standard capacity batteries, you can do that. However, I found that they don't necessarily hold a charge as long as this one does whenever it's stored in a bag. And also, they are not extra capacity. Even though they're listed as more milliamp hour, they're not. I haven't seen any extended use with those other batteries, and that's on my Canon elph 300 HS. I've done a review on that if you want to look at that to see what that camera's like. It's also a point and shoot, much smaller than this one. But the Canon PowerShot, this SX520, this battery does a pretty good job. It gives you some decent amount of time, but we did pick up a separate battery just for this. The other thing is they make an external power supply, which I have also, and that's because of that 300 HS. And what it does is you take your battery out, and they give you something that looks like a battery, but it's lightweight and it has a hole in it. And you plug that into the battery bay, close the door, and then this little port opens up right here, and you can place a cord that comes with the power supply into it and then plug it into the wall. And you have unlimited power at that point. As long as your power don't go out at the house, you're going to have plenty of power to do whatever kind of long shooting you may want to do. But in our case, we're just going to stick with the Canon battery, and we bought an extra one. I'll put the link down below for the power supply and the extra Canon battery. The nice thing about this one is it comes with a wall charger. It comes with a little lead that you plug into the wall. And I thought maybe that might be an inconvenience, but so far I like it because I have a lot of things being plugged into a power strip, and I'm running out of space because, of course, these things take up more space than just this little plug would. The other thing that I like about this charger a lot, being colorblind, this is on a personal note, is they have a charge light and they have a full light. They are separate. They are not one light that changes colors, because I have a hard time seeing those colors. I like this a lot because I know when the light next to full is lit up that we're good to go. I'll have to say, for a point and shoot, this thing is pretty substantial, and it's still comfortable to wear. It's not overly crazy. I'm used to my little point and shoot, which is just the 300 HS, as I mentioned. But this thing does such a much better job. The zoom on it, as you've seen, was just incredible. And again, you saw the photos that my wife took with nothing being special about it at all, other than the sun was bright that day. She just flipped it on automatic, sat out there on the porch with no tripod, and snapped off those shots. So this is a good way to start looking professional. So anybody out there that's wanting to start YouTube videos or start a photography type thing that's possibly going to be on YouTube, or you're going to share with other media sources, this is a good way to start. It's a good entry-level camera, and the nice thing about it is this is last couple year model, but they came out with an SX530. I looked at the difference between the two, and it's minimal, very minimal. I don't think that it's worth the extra money. This camera does an exceptional job, and that's why we purchased it. I've been looking at this camera for about 1.5 years now, since it came out new, and I was dead set that we wanted to go into this when my wife wanted to start doing more photography. So we kind of sat on it, we scrimped and saved a little bit because it was expensive at the time, and the price started coming down and the price started coming down, and then of course the new model came out, the SX520, and then the price really went down on this, and we snatched it up right away, and I've been very happy with it. It's got a lot of features. Some of them we may not even use because there's so many. As far as my wife's concerned, she loves this camera, and I made her very happy picking it up. I'm really glad that she's got it because she has a new hobby now. Again, I'm going to put the link down below for the camera. I'm going to put the link down below for the external power supply. I'm also going to put a link down below for the battery, specifically the Canon brand, and the SD card. Click the link, it'll take you right to these items, and also check out my other videos where I talk about a camera bag that this thing fits perfect in. I appreciate you guys watching. See you later. Bye.